Guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days, where we do have a lot of big topics to discuss. Firstly, Deco is working on a formula to bring in both Joao Cancelo and Joao Felix on a permanent basis this summer. This could involve another loan for Joao Felix, but again, Barcelona working out the formulas and the correct movements to make sure they can do this without being in the 1-1 rule as well. We have, of course, big news in regards to our new manager, with Barcelona talking to their first manager officially in Hansi Flick. He is the first manager who Barcelona have officially had concrete talks with so far, but that doesn't mean he's going to become the manager. That's just more so Barcelona pursuing, an actual manager for the first time. There's not just links and rumors, concrete, that Barcelona have now spoken to Hansi Flick. We also have some big injury updates on Frenkie de Jong and Pedri, and finally Barcelona about to make a very, very historic decision, not only for the club but the entire world as football, as they now have to decide who will be their kit manufacturer moving forward. Will they stick with Nike, sign a new deal with Puma, or will they make their own manufacturing company? But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is one of the best replica football jersey websites on the market right now. They have a variety of different items at absolutely fantastic prices. For me here today, I'm going to show you guys the training kit from this season. This is the warm-up kit that the players use when they go out for training every single day, pre-games as well. You have here the Spotify logo. They have the club badge on it with the diamond as well. And I also have here one of the sweaters they have from last season. This was the Catalonia version. It feels like I bought this from the Nike store directly. The quality is absolutely unreal. The printing is fantastic. And of course, mainly the prices are unbeatable. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get an additional 15% off your final order. That is BOY. Use it at checkout. You get 15% off your order, and all orders above $80 as well will guarantee you free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Click the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days. We're first going to be discussing a player who Barcelona were keen on signing in the previous January transfer window, but in the end, nothing materialized, and that is the signing of Sofyan Amrabat. Fabrizio Romano has now come out 2 months, or you could say a month, after deadline day in January, saying that Barcelona and Juventus asked about in January the possibility of breaking the loan of Sofyan Amrabat from Fiorentina to Manchester United and signing him on a fresh loan, but it was rejected by Manchester United. So Barcelona made an approach to try and get Amrabat on loan, but in the end, United said no. I still think Amrabat is a good player. I think it hasn't really worked out for him at United. I think this would have been a decent move, especially in January in our midfield situation, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. But a midfielder who Barcelona still remain interested in to this day is, of course, Florian Wirtz, with Sport reporting that Barcelona are interested in signing Florian Wirtz. He is expected to stay at Bayern Leverkusen until 2026, so beyond this summer, which works, of course, in favor of Barcelona. I think Wirtz is a very, very good player. I think what's even more crazy about him is that he's come off the ACL. And I think what's more crazy about him is that he's came off an ACL injury. He's come out looking like nothing's happened to him whatsoever. The reason why I bring this up, even though Sport isn't really too reliable, is of course the future of Pedri, where Pedri is now officially, without a shadow of a doubt, classified as injury prone. You need someone with that similar ability to Pedri to come to the team, or at least provide some coverage and competition when he's in the team. And I think Florian Wirtz would provide that. Of course, spending upwards of 70-80 million euros on someone who's not going to be a guaranteed starter for the moment is a bit of a risk. But of course, in 2026, hopefully by that point, financially, we won't have too many issues, and maybe he'll be available for a cup price as his contract will be running down. So keep your eyes on the future of Florian Wirtz, as Barcelona always have and always will remain a very, very strong contender for him, and do hold a very strong interest in the player. Now, a signing that could very much come into fruition this summer transfer window and be a very simple process, and one that could definitely benefit Barcelona, is the transfer of Stoll Dimitrievski. Now, we talked about in the last transfer video how Barcelona have a little bit of doubts around Naki Pena. They're not quite sure about his ability, and they're also not quite too sure whether Naki Pena will request a transfer this summer or not. But Mundo Deportivo are reporting that Barcelona are keeping tabs on Rayo Vallecano goalkeeper Stoll Dimitrievski, whose contract expires in the summer. This summer, he will be a free agent, and this is a keeper that we have been tracking for, I would say, around 2 years now. I remember the January where we brought in Aubameyang, Varane, Dani Alves, Adama. Barcelona were really keen on Dimitrievski at that point. Now it's been 2 years, and the interest is still there. Now imagine this: Barcelona, sell Iñaki Peña on 10 million euros, maybe even 15 if you're lucky, and then bring in Dimitrievski as a replacement. I think that would be some absolutely brilliant business. Like I've told you guys many times on the channel, and I will say it again. I'm not quite, keen, I would say, on Iñaki Peña. I was just checking the age of Dimitrievski. He is 30, so he is in line with the age of Ter Stegen. You can kind of have them both for maybe 1 or 2 years and then really focus on the goalkeeper department after that. Maybe bring back Hernandez on a free transfer once his contract runs down with PSG. I believe he's on a short-term deal, 2-year deal, 3-year deal, somewhere around there. I would definitely be in favor of this, bringing in Dimitrievski for free. Moving on, Iñaki Peña. I don't think Iñaki Peña's done enough as well in his 2-3 month cameo to give me any sort of confidence or encouragement that he'll turn into a better goalkeeper. I think it's time now to cash out on him, especially with his contract running down until 2026. So this summer you want to, either sell him or renew him. Right now he has the best value, you could say. He has, a decent amount of minutes this season. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. But again, keep your eyes on the goalkeeper market. There is some developments happening inside of Barcelona, but of course, in the comments down below, let me know what your thoughts is on the goalkeeper department. Would you move on Iñaki Peña and bring in Dimitrievski or not? Now, one of the main objectives for Barcelona at the beginning of the summer transfer window is to make a decision and maybe even pursue the signings of the two Joaos, with Raccoon coming out saying that Barcelona are searching for strategies to keep both Joaos, assuming that most likely they will not return to the 1-1 rule at the beginning of the summer transfer window. Therefore, they're exploring options not to sign them permanently at the same time. One strategy involves bringing in Cancelo and securing a second loan for Joao Felix, avoiding committing to an imminent purchase of both players simultaneously. Again, we're on track for buying Cancelo permanently and trying to loan Felix again. I really do hope that Atletico Madrid kind of presses out of, signing Joao Felix this summer. I'm not too opposed to another loans. Again, hopefully he finishes the season on double digits in both goals and assists. If he doesn't, I'd completely bid him off 100%. But with Joao Cancelo, I think easily you have to purchase him. I think his transfer is more imminent and more important and more of a priority than Felix is for sure. I think Felix, you're just going to keep him for the vibes. If he can stay on another loan, cool. If not, I think that we will say adios to him. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. Again, hopefully Barcelona don't go over the top. Again, this is these are 2 players that we do want to keep, but again, players that don't want to invest, a lot of money in. And I think, of course, with the priority of Barcelona, them wanting to stay, Jorge Mendes, their agent, on our side as well, this should be an operation which Barcelona should be able to complete. My only concern with Felix is, of course, the conditions of another loan move, or God forbid, Atletico Madrid force us into buying him permanently, and then we end up doing it to make him and his agent happy. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. I think pretty much Cancelo, guaranteed he will stay in some sort of capacity. And with Felix, I'd probably say right now around 70% he stays, whether it's going to be a purchase or a loan, with 30% being Atletico Madrid being really concrete negotiating, saying, you know what, either buy him or no loan. That's the only way you can get him. So wait and see how Atletico Madrid approach the negotiations, but that would definitely be the difficult one of the 2 Joaos. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past few days. First up is a player currently out on loan, of course, at Aston Villa. It is Clement Lenglet. Now, Gabriel Sanz and Mundo Deportivo has come out saying that Barcelona are satisfied with Clement Lenglet's recent situation and they don't rule out a transfer in the summer. He has now become a regular starter at Aston Villa. In England, they say Aston Villa could negotiate signing him permanently or even a new loan. The current loan deal does not include any buy options. Italian clubs are also interested. Now, I just want to break down this report into 2 parts. Number 1, he's now become a starter for Aston Villa. That is not true. He's only starting because they're having injury issues. Now, Pau Torres is returning from injury, and also Tyrone Mings, I believe, is starting to train lightly. If Lenglet's a starter for Aston Villa in about 2 weeks' time, then I'll believe that. But I think right now it will be Pau Torres and Konza being the 2 center-back partnership, and then Lenglet will find his place on the bench. Secondly, I think it's very important to watch out for the interest of Lenglet from Italian clubs. We know that Napoli and AC Milan were pushing heavily for him in the January transfer window, but Aston Villa could not let him go. At this point, we're just praying that we can get rid of him permanently, and also at the beginning of the summer. I don't want to see him go through the preseason, go to the Joan Gamper, wave, and then leave in the last week like he did last summer. He needs to leave in January permanently at some point. Again, we don't want his wages to return either as well. Whether it's another loan from Aston Villa, that could be a nice secure alternative option, but again, the priority should be a permanent departure. Transfer fee, no transfer fee. At this point, I just want Lenglet gone on a permanent basis by any means necessary. That is also, of course, the club's priority as well. Now, another center back's future that isn't at Barcelona, but it's very different from the case of Clement Lenglet, where more so it does give Barcelona a big advantage in the transfer market, is Mika Marmol, of course, a center back playing for Las Palmas, who Barcelona sold to Las Palmas with a buyback option, percent of a future sale, all that jazz, and he's attracting a lot of interest as of late. Both Fernando Polo and Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that several clubs are interested in Las Palmas' Mika Marmol, and Barcelona are attentive to a situation as they do have 50% of his future rights. Girona is the most interested club in him. Also, Atletico Madrid and Real Betis are among those interested. Now, also in this report, they go on to say that Barcelona could use this as their, to their advantage. Maybe negotiate with Girona in terms of Alex Garcia. Of course, they have Pablo Torre. They have Eric Garcia. We have Romeo. I think 100% there will be some sort of business between Barcelona and Girona this summer. Again, us having 50% of his rights, which means that if Las Palmas sell him on for 30 million euros, we get 15, or we could sell our rights from Las Palmas and transfer them to somewhere else as well. We could say, you know what, we're going to give our rights to Girona. They're going to give us whatever they want to give us. That way, Girona go and buy him for around 10 million euros, which is going to be quoted as around 20 million euros. So again, this will be definitely a positive asset for Barcelona. Apparently, Barcelona were even considering bringing him back, but again, our center back department is way too full. You have McBack, you have Mikalfe, you have Kubarsi, you have Inigo, you have Christensen, you have Kunde, you have Araujo, you've got Lenglet, and you got Eric Garcia. 10 center backs in the first team dynamics. We do not need another one, although I think Mika Marmol is definitely a big talent. I could see him maybe coming back to Barcelona in the future, but this summer he will be giving Barcelona some big advantages in negotiation with other La Liga clubs. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, on the contract renewal of Ronald Araujo. This is not really a renewal update, but more so a transfer update, as now we finally, again, like I mentioned earlier, a month after the January transfer window, we do have some updates and details in regards to Bayern Munich's interest in Araujo this past January, with Roger Solero from Mundo Deportivo reporting that Barcelona rejected 2 offers from Bayern Munich for Araujo in January, one of them worth 70 million euros fixed plus 20 million euros in add-on, the second one being worth 80 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons, so both of them totaling a 90 million euro bid. He is not for sale, and Barcelona consider him an important player for the present and the future. Barcelona want to renew his contract, and in a meeting with his agents on February 14th, there was good harmony. They intend to meet again in a few weeks' time, and it is possible that Barcelona will make a renewal offer that will convince him to extend beyond 2026. Beyond the economic issues, Araujo wants to ensure that he will have a competitive team to continue winning and everything. He wants to take Barcelona to the top level and wants the club to ensure him that they will make an effort to aspire for everything. So again, as long as the sporting product is good, Araujo will have no problem committing long term. The question is, will the sporting product be good or not under this new manager? Again, very same wavelength on the Frankie de Jong report. Now on the bids, I think these 2 bids were rightfully rejected. Not enough for me to really, open my eyes and say, oh, let's take a gander. Again, with Araujo, he's so elite in terms of defense, but on the ball, man, these hoop balls lately over the past few months have really been doing my head in. I think his passing has improved since, he first came in, but still not at the level of the likes of Inigo, Kubarsi, Kunde, Christensen. I think no doubt Araujo is the worst on the ball in all of our center backs. Maybe you can even argue Mikalfe, McBack maybe are better on the ball. I think Eric Garcia definitely is. Clement Lenglet is, in his own category of shyness. But I think with Araujo, again, hopefully there is some conflict. He's come on the media multiple times saying that he wants to stay at Barcelona. So hopefully we'll wait and see. I think, again, this summer, if Bayern Munich are bidding 90 million in January, they have to, give us a formula of at least 100 million to really, I think, open our eyes. Maybe 80 plus 20, 90 plus 10, whatever the case may be. I think 100 million euro bid should be the correct figure to really tempt Barcelona to accepting it. And of course, if Araujo wants to leave, then that'll definitely, of course, be a big factor. So wait and see how things turn out in regards to Araujo. But again, 2 very big bids from Bayern Munich were. But again, 2 very big bids from Bayern Munich for Araujo in January, both rejected by Barcelona. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of one of the gems of Barca Athletic in the midfield. It is Unai Hernandez. Sport have come out saying that Barca Athletic player Unai Hernandez has 5 goals and 4 assists for the B team this season. Only Pau Victor has more goal contributions at 18 than Unai Hernandez's 9. Barcelona is satisfied with his performances and plans to improve his contract, which ends in 2025, but the club has an option of extending the contract for 2 additional years as well. So Barcelona want to lock down Unai Hernandez's contract more so on a long-term basis. One of the better players in Barca Athletic, again, that midfield being absolutely stocked. You have him. Gaida, of course, ruled out for the rest of the season, I believe, after a big injury. I think he was injured for around 3 months, but that's pretty much in the season, for being completely honest. Of course, Cancelo, the captain, most likely going to probably be moved on this summer. I don't think Barcelona will use their option to extend his contract for a further year if that is available. So this is the player that Barcelona really want to tie down to maybe a more stronger contract. But again, they do have many avenues to reach that point. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. We have 4 injury updates, 2 being not so good and 2 being somewhat on the positive side. But let's talk about the big one, which of course was last night at this MMS, with us losing both Pedri and Frenkie de Jong due to injury. Now, during the game, I believe at halftime, having Miguel from AES came out saying the injury suffered by de Jong and Pedri looked very bad. Everything indicates that the Dutchman has a significant sprain in his right ankle, and the Canary has relapsed another injury in his right hamstring. Frenkie has it very difficult to get in the Napoli game in time, while Pedri is already completely ruled out. The rumor is that as of this moment, Frenkie de Jong isn't too bad. Again, they will be having their tests later on today, and once the test results come out and we have the extent of their injuries, I will be making a short, so make sure you check out my shorts, and also I'll post it at TikTok. I'll only post a video if they're out for the rest of the season, which I don't think will be the case. But with Frenkie de Jong, he left the match yesterday on crutches and with the boot as well, so I would say, based on what I've seen, based on my knowledge as well, that's going to be about a month. I think no doubt he'll be fit and available for the game against Real Madrid in the Clasico mid-April. There is even a report suggesting that Frenkie de Jong, if he gets on painkillers, could play against Napoli next week as well. So we'll wait and see on that report. I don't think Frenkie de Jong is too bad. I think if he comes back after the international break, that's a W in my point of view. With Pedri, around the same time length, but again, the problem with Pedri is it's a relapse of his previous injury. Keep in mind, do not forget, Pedri was rested against Getafe. He only came on and played about 6-7 minutes. So he played about 6 or 7 minutes in 2 weeks, and he does one pass, pulls his right hamstring yet again. Serious questions need to be asked about Pedri. I think we have to take a hard look at it. I think him being an untouchable is a disgrace to those who are untouchables. Either renew his contract on very low terms or sell him. Because, you know, you can get magical Pedri Potter for 2 games, but then he's going to be out for 3 months. Not worth it, in my opinion. Now, following the game, Xavi was asked, of course, in the post-match press conference on the injuries, and Xavi said the injuries of Pedri and de Jong do not look good at all. We are so sad. The doctor told me that the injuries of Frenkie de Jong and Pedri look bad. So again, they look bad. We'll wait for the further tests later on today. Again, I will make a shorts on in TikToks on what the actual extent of the injury is, but unless they're season enders, I will not be making a video, which I don't think they will be. But on Frenkie, I think he'll be back in about a month's time. With Pedri, probably a month and a half, pushing on 2 months, but it is a relapse, which is going to be the main talking point, so to speak. Now, on that negative, let's talk about some positives. A player who will be back very soon is, of course, Ferran Torres. Renewal have come out saying that Ferran Torres' camp has confirmed the player is in the final stage of his recovery. There are good sensations. The plans for him to be ready for the match against Napoli. Ferran Torres is working really hard to get back. He's doing recovery training even on his off days. He's also doing extra work at home, sacrificing part of his life. He's doing his physical therapy, does specific training, top diet, and does ice bucket recovery every morning. I mean, good for him. This is kind of the mentality I expect from everyone. With Ferran Torres, though, I can see him being in the squad list this Friday against Mallorca. Either way, he's not going to start against Napoli. He could be on the bench for Napoli, could be in the squad list for Napoli, could be on the bench for Mallorca, squad list against Mallorca. I think he will be, worst case scenario, squad list for Napoli. I don't think he'll be playing. I don't think he'll be starting. I think the game after Napoli, I think is Atletico Madrid away. Could start that game if Xavi deems it right for him to. I think in terms of fitness-wise, he will be ready by then. So again, good boost to have back after, you know, the disappointing injury that he suffered, I think against Granada when we drew 3-3. That feels like ages ago, but it was only, you know, under a month ago. Now, the final injury update, a good one as well, is on Gavi, Alfredo Martinez from Sport came out saying that Gavi is delighted and very grateful to Barcelona during the process of his recovery. Apart from the professionalism who worked with him, Deco and Alejandro Echeverri are taking care of everything about him and are making sure that he's as comfortable as possible. So the club, of course, treating Gavi very, very right, as they should. He's one of the most integral players of this squad, and we need the Gavi from October to come back in August, September. If we see anything different, of course, ACL injuries, it's a 50-50. Sometimes players come back, look better. Sometimes they look the same. Sometimes they look worse. So we'll wait and see on that. So overall, we got some players coming back. We're going to suffer through injuries. Again, we got no hope. But all we can do now is just hope that Pedri and Jong come back before the quarterfinals of the Champions League, if we do end up qualifying for that, or let's say worst case scenario, they have to come back before the Clasico at the end of April. But big blows for Barcelona for sure, especially for the games coming up. Atletico Madrid away, Mallorca, Las Palmas, Napoli second leg next week. But hopefully with Ferran Torres coming back, we do have a decent amount of numbers to hopefully compensate for those losses. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few days. First up, the summer tour in America has been confirmed. AS have come out saying that Barcelona will travel to the United States for the third consecutive time this summer for a pre-season tour, this time on the East Coast, and there possibly, most likely, will be an El Clasico played again. Of course, this was also confirmed by Joan Laporta when he did the Cupra Renewal presentation, saying that we're going to go back to America this summer. So that's pretty much going to be confirmed at this point. Again, another Clasico imminent. We'll probably see a lot of Barcelona playing the bigger sides like we saw last summer as well. And again, another Clasico preseason to a game to look forward to. We have won, of course, every Clasico outside of Spain. We do have that record to hold on to us. I think we won 3-2 in Neymar's last game, and then of course 1-0 when Rafinha scored, and then 3-0 last summer with Dembele, Fermin, and I want to say Ferran scoring, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be confirmed again. Another, important and, good moment for the club to, get to match fitness. And again, the US tour now for the summer is confirmed essentially. Now, your player that will 100% be on that plane to America in the summer is, of course, Vitor Roque. And we do have some updates in regards to his adaptation at Barcelona so far, with Roger Solero from Deportivo coming out saying that Xavi has been cautious with Roque since his first days along with his physical trainers. A plan was made to help Roque return to his peak conditions as a player has returned from a 2-month-long injury. Xavi aims to protect the young striker given his high expectations from him. Now Vitor Roque will receive more minutes as Xavi has greater confidence in him. Since day one, Roque has shown an explanatory attitude, eager to learn and absorbing everything that he's told to improve. The Barcelona coach believes that he's the ideal forward for Barcelona when we're playing with space. Now, this did come out before the match against Athletic Club yesterday evening, so I don't know, man. Vitor Roque, 1 minute he had a great week where he scored against Osasuna, then scored against Alaves. I think the red card kind of killed his momentum a little bit, and then we haven't seen him rarely since. With now the injuries in midfield with Jong and Pedri out, we may see Rafinha drop in there, and hopefully we can see some minutes from Vitor Roque. I think this is now the time to give him some, suitable amount of minutes for the rest of the season. Let him, be, get some minutes on the pitch and, be more of a part of the culture of Barcelona, get that experience as well. And again, Lewandowski cannot play week in, week out. That's going to be the reality of it. I'm quite surprised that Lewandowski's not been, I don't think Lewandowski has been rested at all in 2024. If I'm being completely honest, I think he started every single game from the Super Cup final, from the Super Cup semifinal against Osasuna until last night. I think he's pretty much started every single game. So wait and see how Vitor Roque is being implemented into the Barcelona team. But sooner rather than later, we're going to have to see Vitor Roque more often, or serious questions will be asked. Now, of course, this is the part of the video where we're going to be discussing the news around Barcelona's search for a new manager. This is of course becoming a regular theme in the transfer roundup videos, and we do have some minor updates. Firstly, coming in from Roger Solero from Deportivo, saying that there have been many names that have been put on Barcelona's table for a coach, but so far no consensus among the club's tops official yet. So there's a lot of names on the table, but no one manager where the entire board fully 100% agree upon. But following this report, we did get a report from Sky Germany, from Plättigl, saying that first concrete talks have taken place between Barcelona and Hansi Flick. No final decision has been made by Barcelona yet, though, and Flick remains open to the possibility of coaching Barcelona. So Plättigl is saying that, look, Barcelona and Hansi Flick have now officially spoken. for the first time. Whether Barcelona said, hey, we're going to keep you an option, or hey, what are your thoughts on coaching in Barcelona? And Hansi Flick, of course, returning the favor. Now, Roger Toledo from Mundo Deportivo did come out saying that sources close to Hansi Flick denied that Barcelona has spoken to him directly, but of course, that's going to be the case. Keep in mind, Portugal is probably the best reporter, best journalist in Germany, and of course, Hansi Flick is very close to Germany as he is German. I think especially with his agent being Fian Zahavi, this is definitely the case. There have been some reports lately as well that apparently Deco's favorite for the manager position is actually Luis Enrique, and he's kind of hoping that PSG will sack him or Luis Enrique will leave the position. So keep your eyes on that. But in terms of actual talk, in terms of actual movement, Hansi Flick right now is definitely one of the favorites. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video has been, without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest news around Barcelona over the past few days, and that is in regards to the kit manufacturer, as Barcelona have now winded down to 3 possible options: Nike, Puma, and Hummel, which is a manufacturing company, which means that Barcelona will have all the control. I'm going to go through all the reports because there has been quite a bit, and then I'll give you guys my opinion and my analysis. Firstly, Ferran Carrasco Sport came out saying that Barcelona are about to make an historic decision. They are willing to break away from their agreement with Nike and create their own shirt brand. The club would have their own brand through Barcelona Licensing and Merchandising, BLM, which already manufactures and distributes the non-sporting clothing and other items, and partners with a large municipality company and would be in charge of manufacturing and distributing the shirts. The final decision is expected throughout March, although it can even come next week. New communications are also expected with Nike, but Barcelona are not too optimistic about it. If Nike don't improve their offer, Barcelona will break the relationship with them in a friendly agreement. In the club, they believe that it will be their own brand that would earn them much more money. Producing and distributing costs should be assumed, but the money from the sales would totally be for Barcelona, turning the shirt into a new, basically, economic lever. Following this report, Roger Toledo from Mundo Deportivo confirmed it, saying that Barcelona are close to making a decision on the shirt and they have the 3 options on the table. 1. Continue with Nike on better conditions. 2. Sign with another brand like Puma or New Balance, which are offering better conditions and more money. Thirdly, create their own brand and distribute and sell products directly. Breaking the agreement with Nike would involve entering into a legal battle. Barcelona did not rule that out, and Barcelona are studying pros and cons of it. It would mean paying a compensation amount to Nike, but give the club more freedom and better terms. There are strong voices in the Barcelona board who want to break the contract with Nike and create their own brand. This has been looked into detail, traveling and negotiating with companies who can manufacture the products. The sector wants to continue with Nike as long as they give us more money and freedom, or they will go to another brand like Puma, but the decision is expected to be coming in the next 2 weeks at the absolute most. Following this, Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that in the case Barcelona decide to create their own brand, Hummel is a real option to be the manufacturer. There's work done for months now, even with trips to employees to Asia to know what the cost of manufacturing of the clothing is and sell them at a price with a wide margin. They can do this for a year with Barcelona's own brand being displayed on the shirts, and then go for a company like Puma the following year. So maybe even breaking the contract with Nike now, going 1 year solo, and then afterwards signing with a Puma or New Balance, whatever the case may be. Now, Gerard Romero has come out confirming all this news as well, saying that this week may mark a significant turning point in the potential split between Barcelona and Nike. The current suggestion is the collaboration with Hummel for the shirt manufacturer initially, with the potential move to Puma within a year or 2. So he's now confirmed this report that Barcelona right now are thinking about breaking the contract with Nike now, going to their own manufacturer for maybe a year or 2, and then signing with a Puma, New Balance, Reebok, whatever the case may be. Hummel has presented this proposal to Barcelona, focusing solely on manufacturing and distributing the club's shirt for the upcoming season. The club has reviewed some potential designs as well. So Hummel are going to be the company that produce everything and, send it all out, while Barcelona hold, most of the revenue income. They will make all the decisions in regards to the shirt, the design, what goes where, who does what, all those things as well. So this is a big move. Now, finally, to kind of sum everything up, Marca have come out saying that what Joan Laporta wants is to renew the contract with Nike with amounts greater than what Barcelona charge at the moment, and above all, to now receive a bonus for extending the deal. The problem Laporta is encountering is that Nike are not willing to satisfy the club's economic claims. Right now, the brand pays Barcelona 85 million euros per season, plus 20 million euros in add-ons. Information is that Puma would be willing to pay more than Nike. Puma's offer would not be the 200 million fixed per season that is reported, but they would pay much more than what Nike are doing. The preferred option for Barcelona would be to continue with Nike with an improved contract. The 2016 agreement was very adventurous for the club by getting a management of the store attached attached to the Camp Nou, and others has created in different parts of the city and outside it. Breaking the contract with Nike would mean Barcelona had to pay them a compensation figure that is between 40 and 50 million euros, depending on the profit that the company had. For Barcelona to pay this amount now is impossible. It would have to go to a trial, and then it would be paid in the conclusion, probably once Laporta's mandate has ended. Following up on that, the option of Barcelona creating their own brand shirt is a high-risk alternative. First of all, at an economic level, because there would be no renewal bonus or no agreement on the compensation to Nike would have to be paid. On the other hand, the creation of an entire infrastructure for the manufacturing and distribution of the material does not exist and should be created from scratch. So, summary, we've got 3 options. Renew and stay with Nike, move to another company like Puma, New Balance, whatever. Third, make your own company. The club, if they could choose right now, they would rather stay with Nike on a brand new deal, get paid what they deserve, and move on with life. Nike don't want to do that. This for me is a very, very, very delicate and historic decision. Going to your own kit manufacturer is of course crazy because you would profit like no freaking tomorrow. If we sign Holland, for example, every single penny from shirt sales right in our pocket. However, that operation is so difficult. That's why nobody does it. It's so difficult to start your own manufacturing company, get everything distributed on time, have it all organized, make sure there's no problems as well. So difficult, because if that was easy, every club in the world would do it. But it's not. And again, getting the sign-on bonus from a company, getting add-ons as well if you win Champions Leagues and stuff like that, if you reach a certain number of shirt sales as well, and of course, getting the fixed amount directly as well. Very, very easy for all the clubs from a business point of view. I'm on the path where I think the manufacturing, going with your own manufacturer is not the right move. It would be ballsy from Barcelona if we do it. Credit to us. It would be a very historic decision, not only for Barcelona, but the entire world of football, but it's just too risky for a club right now that's not doing too well financially. And also, in order to do that, we're gonna have to pay Nike 50 million euros as well. What's clear is that next season, the 24-25 season, 100% will be under Nike. This decision will be more so for the 25-26 season. I kind of hope low key this is all just pressure on Nike, because I feel like the club have kind of been building up to this for quite some time now. Again, Puma's on the table, offering more money than Nike. Nike pays 85 million euros. You know how much Adidas plays Bayern and Real Madrid? 200 million euros. You know how much Puma pay Man City? 180 million euros. And we're sat at 85 million euros from Nike. That is outrageous. Bare minimum we should be getting right now per season for the kits is 150 million euros, which the club do agree on. And they want, of course, bonuses, add-ons, things of that nature. So we'll wait and see. Again, very, very delicate and very important decision the club had to take on. I think in the end, we're going to stick with Nike in some sort of capacity. I think going with our own manufacturer is quite the risk beyond belief. But we'll wait and see what Joao Laporta and the board decide. But again, big decision coming in the next few weeks in regards to the kit manufacturer. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your thoughts on the 2 Joao signing on a permanent basis. Do you agree with both of them staying long term? Would you only sign one of them or neither of them? Secondly, your thoughts on Hansi Flick talks taking place. What are your thoughts on him becoming the Barcelona manager? Would you hold it out and wait like Deco wants to for Luis Enrique? Thirdly, your thoughts on the injury crisis at Barcelona in regards to Pedri and Jong. I think this is more so the fault of the training staff, or more so just on bad luck. Your thoughts on Pedri going down with the same injury for about the 15th time in a row. And finally, your thoughts on the kit manufacturer. What would you do? Stay with Nike, break the deal and go with Puma, or break the deal and start your own manufacturing company? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.